Dead Island 2, the long-awaited successor to the original zombie-killing joyride released in 2011, came out to a fan base that pretty much forgot they were fans in the first place. The studio behind Dead Island 1 adapted its gameplay into what many considered to be the superior undead title, Dying Light, which was basically the same in every respect but with parkour. There were two general reactions to the 2023 edition. From true fans that waited anxiously, screaming into their computer screens at each delay in production, the answer is unfettered, indefatigable, borderline murderous rage that some dork got his hands on the steering wheel of their beloved swim trunks and machine gun equipped adventure. The second type of reaction was that Dead Island 2 is fine. Today I figure I'll make the definitive statement on whether this game is a laughable quote-unquote sequel, or if the negative reviews that lambasted this game as outright terrible were just overreactions. So without further ado, hide your kids, grab your wife, better get out of sight. The game starts with a cutscene introducing us to the playable characters. I'm only gonna show what's relevant to the person I picked. Ryan here is apparently a male stripper who pretended to be a fireman to get onto an evacuating plane. There's a zombie situation going on wherever we are, if you can believe it. Out of 6 likely protagonists, Ryan, the undercover adult entertainer if you needed reminding, seemed like the only reasonable choice. Take that as you will in relation to the quality of the other options. Anyway, the full-size overcapacity airplane gets blasted by a ground-to-air missile. Oddly enough, this doesn't liquefy everyone on board as you might imagine. Ryan's pretty okay, minus the piece of metal skewering him through the gut. After some minor first aid, he's totally fine and it's time for us to start. I decided it would be rather unwise for my sanity to attempt a play-by-play of Dead Island 2's main storyline. The protagonist is immune to the zombie infection that's plaguing the area, and I can only speak for Ryan, but he's ready to assume the role of hero at the slightest chance to do something courageous other than being the entertainment for middle-aged bachelorette parties. He seems to be the only person who cares about doing something positive about the pandemic. Everyone other than a mysterious doctor is too busy pissing about doing a whole lot of nothing to care about the betterment of society at large. Speaking of, here's Emma Jaunt with her unbelievably goofy assistant.
I'm Michael.
I didn't ask.
Fucking tremendous.
People, this is Emma Jaunt. Of course, you know what a huge star she is, Romero winner no less. We need to get her home to safety.
They're recurring characters for reasons I struggle to grasp. Along with them is the legendary rapper Sam B from the song I played at the title card. He's a returning character from Dead Island 1, and here he's Emma Jaunt's lover, I guess. It's kinda hard to say, actually.
This motherfucker.
Yeah, I checked out of paying much attention to the story around the time it became clear that the writers didn't give it much either. My decision was hurried along by the fact that instead of simply recording a few extra lines of dialogue, adding in the words he or she to refer to the protagonist based on the character you chose, whoever was in charge of voicing just decided to have everyone call the player they, even in 3-person conversations where everyone knows each other. With all that said, once I tuned out the narrative, the game got exponentially more enjoyable. It's clear the studio's more gifted half had their beautifully violent fingers around the action. Combat mechanics were the piece de resistance of Dead Island, and here in the sequel they're excellent, addictive, and mind-numbingly fun. I could easily walk around one of the game's many nicely designed apocalyptic hellholes spearing zombies for hours, and that's only one of the many ways to deal with the denizens swarming around every corner. Use acid to melt the monsters to pieces. Chuck a water jug into a crowd, then use some electric shurikens to make those losers dance. Bonk an incalculable amount of heads with an assortment of heavy things. I was coming up with unique and exotic ways of killing zombies while traversing through all 10 playable areas of Hell A. Some are larger and more intricate, but overall each is well designed and aesthetically pleasing. Although in one case the zone is just a set piece for what I suppose could be called a finale. More on that in a moment. The side content in Dead Island 2 is excellent even if you only look at the looting experience. The map is littered with places to root around in for good reasons or no reason at all. A good chunk of the optional content is finding people who go missing. And I kid you not, I'm pretty sure every single one of them was already brutally killed before I started looking, but I did get good stuff when I re-executed the zombified remains of somebody's family members, so they were profitable ventures. The 14 hours I spent completing the game were not wasted, all things considered. Good fun up to the abruptly conclusive last act. Considering that I didn't follow the story beyond whatever the name of my current quest conveyed, it's almost impressive that I was bothered by the cliffhanger ending. It's sudden, brazenly sequel baits, and the credits roll so the player can identify who to be mad at. To be honest, it wasn't that big of a deal to me, but if somebody was halfway invested in what was going on, that excuse of a finale would be triggering. All in all, I bought this game on sale and would recommend you do the same. It's undeniably fun, but has its fair share of drawbacks. With all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a nice day.